Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm so excited to do this video because I have been waiting to use this palette. I got this palette about a week or two ago. I have been putting off using it because I really wanted to do a first impression in a video. So I have the NYX Fire palette here. I have been so excited to use this palette. I literally could not wait to get my hands on it. I am going to be doing a little mini review and a makeup tutorial using this palette. I did really enjoy this palette a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have really high hopes for NYX shadows. I feel like I have given them a fair chance. I've tried their single shadows, their mattes, their shimmers, and I don't know, there's something about their shadows that I don't like. They come off very chalky to me and they're not very pigmented. That's just my opinion, of course. Other people might not feel that way. I love NYX as a brand. I love a lot of their other things, but when it comes to shadows, I just tend to stay clear of them. I saw this palette floating around the internet and I was like, that looks very intriguing. Of course, these are so my tones. They are very warm, very fiery, very red, brown, delicious shadow colors. I saw a couple of people doing tutorials on it already. I've seen pictures on Instagram and I was like, oh my god, I've got to try this palette out. This could be what dreams are made of. I did get it in the NYX store when I was in Vegas. It retails for $30. You do get a decent amount of shades. You get 12 shadows in the palette. Very warm, very smoky, very fall appropriate. I feel like this palette couldn't have come at a better time. The fall season is just beginning. We are engulfed in pumpkin spice lattes, pumpkin flavored, pumpkin scent everything. So fall is here. Everybody's ready. Me personally, I love fall. I love doing fall makeup. I feel like right when September 1st hits, I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's get out those smoky colors. Let's do those warm shadows. Out with the pinks and purples, in with the reds and browns. It is here. We are ready to go. I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised when I did get this palette. The shadows are quite pigmented. They are a bit powdery. With that being said, they blend beautifully. I tried to use as many shadows as I could, mostly the mattes, because I know mattes are a lot harder to do than shimmers when it comes to formulation. So the mattes are actually beautiful. I have no complaints about the mattes. The black is not the blackest black. I'm actually okay with that because I'm not the biggest black shadow user. I feel like it's a little too harsh for me personally. I would say this black is more of like a charcoal black. It comes off a tiny bit gray. Now, I didn't use the black today, but I can imagine that when you actually put it in the crease or the outer V, once you start to buff it, it probably is going to sheer out, because I did notice with this taupey color and the yellow, I did have to build quite a bit to get that intensity that I was looking for. This yellow doesn't have the best pigmentation. It comes off as a very sheer wash of color. I was really hoping this would be a little more intense because it is a very pretty yellow gold shade. It would look beautiful on the lid. I did not try this on the lid, so I can't speak for that one personally, but when I swatched it, it did come off very sheer and powdery, so maybe you might have to use a setting spray with that one. Other than that, everything else is that is beautiful. This color and these two down here are stunning. I mean, look at that pigmentation. I can't wait to use this one. I think I'm going to use this one next. This palette is pretty good. I did enjoy it a lot. They are a little powdery. Yes, you will get fallout, most definitely. This orange is just look at that. This orange was beautiful. I used this today and I have to say I was very pleasantly surprised. This color down here that I used on the lid, this was a bit powdery. I had to build it up just a little bit, but you'll see that in the tutorial. I don't know if this is just me, but $30 is a bit expensive for NYX. I'm not sure if they're technically considered drugstore. I have only seen them in drugstores. I've never spent $30 on a NYX palette before. I was actually really surprised that this was $30. I was thinking it would be maybe around $20, $22 price point. It's 30 bucks, but when you break it down, I believe they came out to be about $2.50 a shadow. It's not bad when you look at it that way. That is more affordable than the MAC single pans or the Makeup Geek single pans. So they are pretty inexpensive if they were able to be sold separately, and the pans are very big in size. Let me open this up again. The pans are huge. They are bigger than your average single shadow pan. I think you will probably get your money's worth out of this, especially if you are a warm toned, smoky kind of person. I do like this palette. I am a fan of it. I'm a little disappointed with the price. I wish it was a little more affordable considering it is NYX. Other than that, this palette is so good, you guys. This would be perfect if you're experimenting with color because there are quite a few colorful, not everyday shades. If you're just learning how to do makeup, you're probably not going to go for like those yellows and reds and oranges. You're probably going to want to go for more neutral shadows. I would say that this would be awesome for beginners just because it beats spending the $50 or $60 on an Urban Decay or a Naked palette, and you still get to experiment with some color. There's not a highlight shade and there's not a matte cream shade like to set your eyeshadow primer if you like to do that step before you start your makeup. Nonetheless, I do like this palette. I can't wait to use it some more. I'm so excited to do different types of looks with it. So we're gonna go ahead and jump on into the tutorial. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Please hit that subscribe button below. I love hearing feedback, so please do. If you have any comments, if you have any suggestions, other NYX products for me to try. I actually just picked up some of their contours when I was at the store too, because I have never tried any other contour, so I'm excited to try those. I picked up some more of their blushes. I absolutely love their brushes. I think they are truly my favorite drugstore blushes. I love their pigments and their glitters. Oh, and their butter glosses. Oh my god, how could I forget the butter glosses? But other than that, I haven't really tried too many NYX things. So if you have suggestions for me or things that I can try, I would love to hear it below. Let's go ahead and jump into the tutorial. If you want to see how I got this look, just keep watching. So the first shade I'm going to go in with is this taupey brown shade. In the pan it looks a little more cool toned, but when I put it on my eye it actually came off very warm, which I was very happy with. So I took this with a Morphe M504 brush and I just wanted this to be an initial wash of color. It's not too much darker than my skin tone, so it was very, very faint on my eye, which I was totally okay with. I really wanted to see a gradient of color, so that's why I laid this color down first. And that was in the shade number 3. Right over top that, I'm taking this yellow shade. This color is so pretty. The only thing I wish was that it was just a little tiny bit more intense. I really had to work to build up the color. But once I did build it up to the intensity that I liked, I was very happy with the way that it looked. And I took this with my Sigma blending brush. For the life of me, I can't remember the name of this brush because I have used it for so many years, the number is worn off. I will list it in the description box below. I forgot to clean off my brush and I got a little bit of red into the crease, but I just kept building up the yellow and the yellow covered it up very nicely, so it was totally fine. And then taking my Sigma E25 brush, which is a little more precise of a blending brush, I'm going in with the shade 9, and it's this really pretty orange shade. Dude, this color is so freaking intense. I went in a little heavier handed with this one because I noticed I had to do that with the first 2 shades that I used. Honey, that was a mistake because this color was crazy, crazy pigmented. The nice thing about this palette is it is very blendable, so it blended out like a dream. I just went right into the fold of my eye underneath those other 2 transition shades and laid this color down and blended it out. I'm really wanted to go for that really blown out, beautiful, warm, smoky eye. So this color was perfect for the look that I was going for. Then again, I'm going in with my Sigma Fluffy brush and I'm just blending all the colors together. I don't want there to be any harsh lines. I want everything to look blown out and seamless. So I'm just really taking the time to blend everything together so it looks perfect. Then I'm taking this shade. It's this really pretty reddish brown shade and it's in the shade number 4. I'm taking this with a small crease brush. I actually got this from Avon. It's more of a pencil brush, but I like to use this brush to get really precise into that very, very crease of the eye. So I just took this shadow and I blended it right underneath the orange. I really wanted to see that beautiful definition. And this color is more rich and deep, so it really brought the look together with all the red and orange tones. Okay, now this color is literally everything. This is in the shade number 10. It is the prettiest reddish purple burgundy shade. I thought this looked so pretty on the lid. My only complaint that I have about this is that it came off a little bit patchy. I did not have this problem when I did it on my other eyelid. I don't know why. You can see here it starts to kind of swipe away, but I finally was able to build it up. I just thought it was so weird that I couldn't get it to work on my other eye, but it was fine on my first eye. So this color is so stunning nonetheless. I just went in and blended everything together with my Sigma blending brush again, and I lost a little bit of the orange, so I'm taking that E25 brush and I'm just intensifying the orange a little bit more. I didn't want to lose any of the orange whatsoever. I'm also going to go back in with that reddish brown shade with my Avon brush and just touch that up as well. I just went in with MAC Nylon. This is my favorite brow bone highlight shadow. On top of that, there isn't one in the palette that you can use to highlight, at least not for me. So I just went in with MAC. I'm also going to use this later on in the video for the inner corner. Okay, so this look definitely called for a fierce wing. So you can see I accidentally made a little boo-boo right there. At first I thought that my life was over. It was not. I just let it dry and then I tried to flick it off and I went back over the top of it with the burgundy shadow just to cover up that little dot. And you couldn't really see it once I had my lashes on. So whatever, the show must go on. For whatever reason, I was having so many issues with this eye and not just with the shadow, but with my liner too. This wing was totally different than the wing on my other eye. It was so thick and fat. I ended up going in and fixing it and cleaning it up with a makeup wipe, but whatever, we're just going to continue on. So I just created this wing and I'm going to go ahead and fill it in. And you know we are not skipping falsies today. So I'm just prepping my natural lashes with my Tarte Lash Paint Mascara. Just getting them ready for false lashes. And this look definitely called for some drama for your mama. So we're going in with these beautiful lashes. They are one of my favorite styles of all time from eylure. They are in the style Grand Glamour. They're so thick and fluffy, but they're not up to your eyebrows. So they just really add a beautiful, beautiful touch to any dramatic makeup look. Here you can see I am trying to fix this mess. I wanted to leave this clip in because I know wing liner is very intimidating and everybody makes mistakes. I make mistakes. The best makeup artist in the world makes mistakes. So I'm taking this wipe and I'm just trying to thin out my wing a little bit. It ended up turning out fine. It looked perfect with the look. Once you have your lashes on, lashes really help to hide any type of imperfections that you may have with liner or anything like that. So I just cleaned it up a little bit. Taking that reddish brown shade again, I'm going in with my Morphe M432 brush. It is a little flat definer. I'm just taking that and I'm pressing it very harshly against the lower lash line. And then what I'm going to do is take my Morphe E17 brush. I'm going to take that reddish brown along with that orange shade that I used in my crease and use this to smoke out that harsh line that I initially put down. I love, love, love this technique. Ever since I got these brushes, this has been my favorite way of applying shadow to the lower lash line. I really wanted to see that yellow gradient that I used in the crease come down onto the lower lash line as well. So I'm taking my E17 and I'm using just a little bit of the yellow. I didn't want too much yellow showing through. So I'm just taking a very light amount and I'm blending that right under those two colors that I laid down. And going in with this little detailed brush from Eco Tools, I'm just taking a little bit of nylon and then going in with my L'Oreal Voluminous, I'm just going to coat my lower lashes with some mascara. That's it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you guys in my next one.